The front and back, they print it like that.
That's fine. We live?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Facebook, on Insta.
No.
Oh, man. What's up? What's up, y'all? Okay. Yoked Purpose is live. Okay, so.
Cut off my head.
It's cutting off your head? All right, let's fix that. Hold on my stuff. Oh, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? We're still getting kind of set up a little bit. This is our first time we're using
live on YouTube, live on Instagram and Facebook.
And the book. Bruh, it is serious right now. But I'm excited. I was excited for something new. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Hey, y'all, welcome. Welcome to Yoked Purpose. Tune in. Where you watching from? Let us know where you watching at. You on YouTube, you on the book. Yeah. Because I think it all shows up at.
And I don't think we can see your comments here.
We might can see them on there. But we can see them on here. Because Yoked Purpose is live and I'm about to tune in right here so I can see till we get this thing figured out. Yeah.
Typically Mondays. Today's Wednesday.
So. Yeah, we was working, y'all. Busy, right?
Trying to stay consistent, but sometimes you got to step back.
Right.
And then come through another day. So.
And I'm trying to see. I got the notification, but I'm trying to click to see if I can grab it so I can see comments. But I'm not seeing it at the moment. Y'all bear with us for a second. Where y'all watching from? I know. It showed me the notification and then it went away. But that's cool.
This is cool.
Oh, boom.
Look, we got some good stuff for y'all tonight. We just want to make sure that we
in.
Get in there. Get some notification.
Yes. What's up, everybody?
Yes. Let us know. I can't see anything.
Yeah. Here you go. We can see you.
Hey, Tika.
What's up, Tika? How you doing?
I see you, baby. Your big boy got a job today. He got a job.
Oh, he did? I ain't seen
He got a job today. He got hired at McDonald's.
What?
That's so exciting.
Man,
he turned 16 and then instantly. I did the same thing, though. I turned 16 and got a job that same day.
Yeah.
So, yes.
He's hungry.
That's so
hungry.
exciting.
Let's go,
Tell me, say congratulations.
Yep, he's telling that. Yes.
Yes, congratulations.
Man, have y'all been watching the series that we've been doing, Safe Place?
Safe Place.
How have you been enjoying it? I really have been enjoying this whole thing.
Yeah.
And funny thing is, the more we dive into this Safe Place series, the more it speaks to us.
She said she getting old. Don't talk to me about.
Right.
I know when your babies are getting jobs and going to college. Our baby will be graduating from college.
She's in her last semester.
Yeah. She'll be graduating from college in May. So
man, it's gonna be crazy.
That makes me feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
So I know.
Yes. So what I was saying. Safe Place series. Y'all listen. This Safe Place series, the more we dive into it, man, you got to be careful when you're trying to learn some stuff because God will show you some stuff.
Y'all,
anybody know about that?
It's been nice because it's getting deep with us too. So, but I'm grateful.
I've been getting on some nerves.
I'm grateful because I always even today.
I'm glad to hear you say that, baby.
Even today, it's stretching me. So even today, I'm like, I know God obviously is trying to show me some stuff through other people. So right. I'm open. I'm open for learning and doing some self-reflection to see why I feel the way I do about what other people do.
Yeah.
So I know that he's trying to show me something in me. Because as we're doing Safe Place, of course, I want to be a safe place for him and I want him to be one for me. So, But we always been told that, hey, when you're doing this stuff, you got to make sure that you're paying attention to the inside.
Yeah.
That
you got to let.
And you're covered. Make sure you're covered.
Yes.
As you're working on your union as well.
And I'll say this. Let your ministry minister to
for
you.
Real. For real.
And that's what we've been in, y'all. I'm talking about the communication level in the Sanders household is up there.
And there's a lot going on, so it's exhausting, but
baby,
it's worth it.
Stay with me, baby, please. Stay with me.
I ain't going nowhere.
Boom.
I ain't going nowhere.
That's all right. You can go somewhere if you want, as long as you pack my bags.
Yeah, you got it.
And I can go with you.
But today, last week we talked about allow me to feel.
Yeah.
And that was just basically allowing your partner to feel what they feel, because they're going to. They're human. We have to be able, if we want to be a safe place for them, we want to make sure that we're allowing them to feel what they're feeling. But we also want to make sure that we're accountability for them as well. And we're not allowing them to kind of stay in that place.
Yeah.
And just kind of coaching them through, and not necessarily making them get over it real quick, but just, allowing a place for them to talk about it.
Lord, I need your help on that get over it real quick part, Lord.
Because when you upset someone, typically, we talked about this last week, we want them to hurry up and get past it. That's not always how things are going to go. So we have to be encouraging. We have to be loving. We have to be caring. And like the fruits of the Spirit, you have to have long suffering sometimes, because, it may not be a week. It may not be 2 weeks. It may take some counseling, some therapy. It may take, them fasting and praying. It may take a little time before they're back to normal.
Yes.
And so we have to be understanding and allow our partners to feel, especially if we're the offender.
And I think it was probably a point, since we talked about that it came up, and I probably said something and probably made you feel some kind of way.
Probably.
And I went back to, it could have been a misunderstanding if I'm not mistaken. So when I told you what the real understanding was, at that moment, I'm like, now you shouldn't be feeling nothing no more. Right. But it doesn't happen that way. Like I gotta let you feel, you know what I'm saying?
And stuff sometimes is a process. And
y'all share,
like and share.
Like this video, share the video, tag your spouse in here. We're talking about friendship today. You don't want to miss this. Tag your friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Put this on your timeline. We're about to go in.
So today we're talking about friendship.
Friendship.
And of course, friendship in your marriage. There's a little bit of it that sometimes I want to touch on it when it comes to actual friendships with, with the same sex, like your best friend, your best girlfriend, your homies, and, your compadres, all of that stuff. And so it's a little bit, because this is interchangeable, because everyone who follows us aren't married. Some people are working on friendships and relationships outside of, the intimate relationships as well. So we want to talk about friendship because we believe it's very important.
Right. And so, how we dive in?
Okay, so let me define friend. A person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. So typically when we're talking about a friend, you're talking about, hey, that girl you grew up with, that y'all used to play in the dirt and the mud. We usually, that's the impression of our first friendship.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with sex. It's not family. This is somebody that you have a connection with outside of your family and outside of physical relations with.
Absolutely.
But today we're going to talk about it in a marriage. So many marriages that are not friends. Are you best friends with your spouse? Come on in the comments. We want to know.
Yeah, are you best
If you don't mind sharing, are y'all best friends?
Yeah.
I know my wife and I, we actually are still growing in that area. We didn't date a lot. I didn't know her that much. I just got to know her enough to know, you know what? I'm in for the ride with this one.
Yeah.
All of my things, my little check marks, she checked off on all of that. And the rest, I'm like, we just gonna ride it out. And
we just believe that God, what we did and doing the natural, and he put his supernatural. Right. Knowing that our foundation was Christ and the word, I was just like, you can't fail. You can't fail, because the word is what you have to go back to at any moment. So the fact that we only dated 5 months, married the 6th month, we had a lot of growing to do. And so, but outside of sexual relations, that's a huge thing for singles. Mm-hmm. If you are physical with a spouse, with your potential before you get married, typically you might be a little clouded.
Yes.
You might be a little jaded. And he just so happened to catch me at a time where,
Ms. Douglas said, working on it is hard sometimes.
I know it is.
It's complicated. Come on, give it. Yeah,
but
hey.
he caught me at a time where I was fed up. Pretty much. I was fed up with the dating rat race. And I was like, guess what? I have to do something different. I have to literally do something different.
Yeah.
And so I was like, guess what? If a man really wants me, he will abstain.
Yeah. And it's, listen, man, we was just reading through and it came up.
Yeah,
and,
here it is.
Right. And really, you don't think about that because, you know, nowadays, nobody's waiting till they get married. I mean, we still should wait now. I'm not saying that we shouldn't.
If you
I'm just saying typically that's not really what people have been doing.
Right.
They're not waiting before you get married anymore. And what happens is we jump to the physical part, the sexual part so quick that we hadn't even built the friendship.
Absolutely.
And we don't know that really when you go there first, it strains the friendship part.
It does.
But if you build the friendship part first, oh man, it'll open up that sexual part like you've never seen. You know what I'm saying? And so now we're at a place where we gotta learn to be friends. Because the other part ain't going away now. We already in, baby.
Right. But the biggest part, let me share a story, like a quick little segment off of something that we were researching.
Who?
Right here.
Okay.
Part of the reason friendship is so hard to find stems from our culture's push to immediately sexualize a relationship between a man and a woman. The physical intimacy that many couples get involved in very early in their dating relationship prevents true friendship from ever developing. Many couples, instead of sitting down to talk or going out to just have fun, jump on the fast track to sex. The result is an emotional stunting of the relationship. In many cases, either through neglect or misdirected focuses, couples stop pursuing the goal of becoming best friends. Whatever the reason, marriages that have been robbed of friendship are missing a vital element in making a relationship a paradise. If friendship has grown cold in your marriage or was never given an opportunity to develop in the first place, you can change that. And we got that from Family Life, The Secrets of a Matrimonial Friendship.
Yeah.
Because it's so important to have a matrimonial friendship. If you are married to your best friend, you are missing nothing. You're missing out on nothing.
but if you're not married to your best friend, you feel like you're missing out on stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
Because it's like, if I feel like I have to look for it somewhere else, look for that ability to talk about anything, the ability to, cry on your shoulder, whatever I need in a friendship. If I'm missing that with my partner, then it's going to be hard for me to be transparent like I need to be in my marriage.
Right.
And you don't want that, so, but it's definitely tough.
So one thing, when we talk about friendship in your marriage, this right here, this talking about friendship in your marriage. Assumptions. We all have assumptions. Assumptions are not that good. They can lead you down a path of, you'll have, right. You'll create stories that make so much sense in your head.
Right.
And that'll be almost law.
Yeah.
And it'll be hard to unconvince you that that's what it was based off of our assumption that we kept building on. So one of the key things that we're learning that in friendship is you need to assume. If you're going to assume the best.
Right.
Assume the best. Assumptions can get you in trouble. However, if it's in our nature to assume, if your spouse is involved, the best thing to try to do is to assume the best first. Mm-hmm. So, all right, we got a scenario.
I got a scenario.
Okay.
Someone calls you and says that they saw your spouse talking to someone of the opposite sex. What's the first thing that you think?
The first thing you think, somebody then called you and said your boo-boo is talking to the opposite sex. What are you? They standing out talking, or
like you probably might want to know some details, like what is your first course of action?
Right.
Are you instantly upset?
Come on, in the comments.
Spouse? In the comments,
are you instantly upset? Are you instantly upset with either your spouse
or the person on the other end of the phone.
Right. The person that's told you more mad at the person that told you, or you more upset
spouse.
with your spouse because you already got what you think is going on
Right.
in your head.
Now, so for me, I'm gonna be kind of, perturbed with maybe the person on the other end, especially if they don't have no details. They don't know what they was talking about. They don't know if it was a client. They don't know if it was a church member. You're just giving me an assumption.
Right.
And so I'm probably going to be a little upset that you're robbing my peace in that area because I want to assume the best of my husband.
Right.
If somebody feels the need to call me and tell me something about my husband, I want to be able to first say, no, I know my man. Like, I know this dude.
You better tell him, baby.
You know what I'm saying? If you telling me something about him, you're going to have to come with some more details.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm probably going to be a little upset because you're robbing my peace.
But how do you handle that, though? Like, realistically, somebody call and say that. Do you feed into more details? Do you hang up and say, you know what?
Wouldn't. I'd be like, well, thanks for calling. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk to him. I probably wouldn't give them.
You would just let them go.
I wouldn't probably give them no more detail, no more energy.
Fuel,
past that. I wouldn't want it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
But
that's just me.
Yeah. Because I think I would do the same thing to a degree.
Because I want to assume the best. And I
think so after that, do you approach your spouse or what do you do?
I assume that if I know you the way I know you, you'll come home and be like, look, you know who I seen at the store today? I seen Amy at the store today. The girl that, do CrossFit at the church.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh, it'll come together because typically either we're on the phone anyway, or he's going to come home and tell me, I saw such and such at the store. And then the other person it's going to seem silly.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if at some point that friendship has to override with that emotion because, some people don't know that, they bring a mess to you. They just bring it.
Well, I think honestly, this is what I do. I would probably say, all right, boom, let me get off the phone. And then I would probably have to address it though.
Yeah.
I would probably say, hey, babe, ain't gonna lie. Somebody called me and they said that you was talking to somebody. Now, my first mind, I'm not thinking it was nothing else, but I'm fixing to go ahead and ask you,
right.
Was it something good? And then if you say, well, it was nothing, that's what I want to believe. Exactly. That's assuming the best. I want to believe that when you tell me something, then that's it. That's assuming the best. But it also, I know we didn't put this on here. We ain't going that way, but some trust factors come back up in there too.
And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Trust factor.
That's where I'm at. I just feel like I trust you enough to know it's nothing like that. And if it is, guess what? I trust him enough to know that he'll let me know. In some way, shape, or form, it'll come out. So I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. So, but a scenario number 2.
Okay.
Your husband calls you every day on the way home, and one day they don't. What's your first thought? For me,
I always call you when I'm on my way home, and then
one day I don't.
One day I don't call you, and I just pop up at the house. It's small now. What do y'all think? It's small. What do you think? Like literally.
Pattern set the bar. That's it.
Pattern set, bruh.
To me, don't do something if you cannot uphold it consistently.
Yeah.
It just sets the bar.
Yeah.
And when a person says, hey, this is what I'm going to do consistently and I don't do it anymore, it does raise that eyebrow. You're just like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? You typically
So what do you do?
I don't know. You just ask. I ask. I'll be like, babe, you didn't call me on the way home. You didn't text on my way. Sometimes if he doesn't call, he still texts me like, I'm on my way. Do you need anything?
Yeah.
And I'll say, no, I'm good. Be safe. Heart. Love you. You know what I'm saying? So it may not be a call. It may be I'm on my way. Sometimes if he knows he's on the phone talking to somebody else, he'd be like, hey, I'm on my way, but I'm on the phone with such and such, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, be safe. You know what I'm saying?
That's because I started that pattern.
That's his pattern.
And so I want to uphold that.
Yeah.
And I've dropped the ball on it before, and we've probably been through this scenario before.
You at home? Like, who ringing the doorbell and it's you? And I'm like, first off.
But I think it's the real stuff like this that you probably say, that ain't nothing. That sounds small. But it's the small stuff that begin to you build on unknowingly. And instead of you saying, hey, when I get to the house, instead of you saying, hey, babe, kind of made me feel a little some way when you didn't call. I ain't saying you was doing something, but it was just something about that made me feel something. And I'm going to share that with you. And that reminds me of allowing you to feel.
Right. It does.
Because it don't
get
mean
mad because I feel, because I'm human.
Hey, maybe you feel that way for real.
Right.
Share it. And we got to begin to share those little stuff. I want
you to share the story about them.
share a story about that. I know Alfred and Ross was talking about some of what we're saying now. That's last night. I can't even remember exactly, so I ain't even trying to quote them. You know what I'm saying? It was just so good. You ever hear something so good?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hold on. You talking about the story of David?
I want you because it's kind of like goes back to that loyalty, like
Oh, the friendship,
yeah, your friendship.
the friendship that David and I think Jonathan had.
Yeah.
And I know Jonathan was Saul, King Saul. Jonathan was his son, but Jonathan had formed a bond with David, was so tight that he wouldn't even break with his father. He was like, man,
leave and cleave.
Leave and cleave. And that's what it reminds me of. We got to learn how to leave and cleave and make our spouses priority. And the bond that we have got to be so tough that you don't allow anything to come in and break it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that takes some intentional building.
Right.
Just like we just said. We wasn't just like best friends coming in. We didn't
grow up together. We didn't grow up in the same neighborhood. We didn't go to the same high school. We didn't have no knowledge of one another going into it. So even now, there's stuff that I'm still telling him about my upbringing or what I did when I was little or where I used to live when I was stationed here the first time. It's stuff like that was funny because I was like, yeah, look, this is a picture of the house I rented when I was living here the first time. He's like, a house? Like, when did you ever live in a rented house?
Right. I thought you only rented apartments.
But that's the stuff that he's still learning about me.
Right.
You know, because,
and guess what? For a moment, I might have felt like it was something secret about you. You didn't tell me something.
Right.
But that's the type of stuff, again, y'all, that we just gotta be honest about our feelings because we just want to open up. Mm-hmm. So we're not hiding nothing. That, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna look under nothing and find some little something that's stuck in the crevice that I intentionally withheld. If you find it, it wasn't because I said, well, I ain't gonna tell her that kind of made me feel some kind of way. Right. Man, just tell it. Yeah. Just tell it. Open up. And that's how our spouse is gonna begin to know who we are. You know what I'm saying? All right, check this point out. When there is just a love physical relationship, it is tough to accept correction.
However, when there's a friendship built, you can take correction in a less offensive way.
Man, when it's just physical,
then
and the friendship part is not there,
your flesh rises up different. I know for a fact when you say something about me, I'm like, okay, is this my friend talking or is this something that I'm doing that? Because I look at it like this. If you're married to somebody that doesn't like some of the stuff you're doing, it does feel like that threatens the marriage if you don't have a friendship.
Yeah.
If you have a friend in a person, they should be able to come to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And tell you some things about something you're doing that might be offensive to either them or somebody else. If they see the way you've reacted with someone else and they be like, babe, you know you're wrong for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I need you to come tell me that because guess what? They may not tell me that, hey, you offended me. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? As a friend, he needs to be able to tell me that.
And y'all, we growing. We growing in it. Right, babe?
Mm-hmm.
We ain't shame.
No.
We ain't shame. We still growing in that area. We grown now.
Yeah.
And we decent. But we trying to max out on this friendship thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I want ultimate closeness.
Right. That's that we always talk about our new thing that we always talk about is abundant marriage. And in having a friendship in your marriage allows you to experience that abundant marriage. The one of the Bible, the one that God talks about, the one that when you want that person to be your safe place, it's like, guess what? That's abundant marriage. Yeah. That is, and that's what a lot of people are not even striving for anymore. There's a lot of people that are married that aren't even striving for that abundance in marriage any longer. And it's heartbreaking.
People that got stagnant.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
People just hey,
because he never said it would be just easy. It's still work. With anything that it still works.
Yeah.
There's days that my flesh just rises up because he's doing something and I'm just like, okay, I know that this is part of the work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that, it's something about marriage that exposes some of those deep things on the inside of you and that you still have, not surrendered to God.
Right.
And so, but that's that closeness that happens when you have that friendship.
It is. Now we've been talking and it must have been kind of bubbling in the spirit pretty good. But we're talking about friendships, y'all, and we're talking about it when you begin to build on your friendship, then you go down the path of having a safe place in your
Mhm.
marriage. And we're talking about safe place still because we want to have I don't just want our marriage to be a safe place. I want to be a safe place for my wife.
Right.
It's not just about, oh, the marriage is a safe. No, I want to be a safe place.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to come to me. But I say that now, friends on social media, tell me, you've been kind of bubbling a little bit, yakking my ear off.
Okay. So, friends on social media while you're married. Let's be clear.
Come on, y'all.
When you're married, the way you interact with the opposite sex on social media matters, and it's a direct reflection of your respect for your spouse.
I ain't gonna lie. When she was telling me that, your first thought be like, man, that's just social media. What you talking about? That stuff ain't.
No, okay. So
it ain't just social media.
So
like
I'm gonna say this because this is how it bubbled on the inside of me. When you are liking that Instagram model, and mind you, some women are on Instagram and they're not even trying to be no Instagram model, but they're half dressed in fitness wear, tummies out, they all ripped and cut up, and you're liking the post.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody on the outside sees that, because I'm thinking, I know she don't like that. If she knows it, I'm sure that on the inside of her, she may have told you she's okay with it. But ultimately, it's a direct reflection of the respect. Now, I'm like, don't even look at it. Unfollow the page if it's a temptation. But
right, we talked about that.
Right,
unfollow the page if it's a temptation.
But you have to remember that even bringing that into your marriage, that's something that doesn't have to be there. It doesn't have to be there. Most women, a lot of times when things makes us insecure, we don't want to really bring it to you because nobody wants to be that insecure wife. Nobody wants to
come across like you're the insecure.
Nobody wants to come across as being the insecure wife. However, I'm going to speak for her today because she may not want to, but it has nothing to do with how she might feel about it. It's a direct reflection of how you respect her. And she don't like it. For your
she just may not like it. Let's just be honest.
And she may have told you, and you may be like, it's just Instagram.
And then the way Facebook has it set up, or maybe even Instagram has it set up.
I hate it. It's so messy.
Right. It's so messy that you showed me the post earlier today. It says, yo boo and 55 other people just like this post.
It'll highlight basically that they saw it and they liked it. And I'm sorry, on social media, I'm not saying put on the front.
No.
I'm not saying be something you're not on social media. But if you are a married individual, because there's Instagram male models as well, there's stuff that they put out there too. And if you're liking it, if you're engaging in it, it's a direct secret. It's kind of like this, guard your eye gates.
Guard your eye gates.
If you're married to your best friend, there should be nothing on the outside of your marriage or your friendship that should tempt you in that way. Well, it can, because that's what prayer is for. And that's why guarding your eye gate is so important, because when you open that up, so many things happen.
Yeah, it stirs up something on the inside of you.
And not only that, but your spouse can feel it. If y'all are friends and y'all been around each other long enough, they can feel it. They can feel because when you're tied together, that's why soul ties are so huge. And I'm not even gonna get into that, but that's the reason why it's so huge, because if there's some deceit, at some point your spouse can feel it. Like it's something in them that I can just feel it.
Wait, can I get it for a second?
Yeah.
I just want husbands. You talking to the wives, that's good. We're gonna keep, but husband, this for me. Stop liking them big booty posts, man. You can't be on there liking the voluptuous looking pose.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like it in your head and keep going. Don't even waste the time.
Like it in your head and unfollow. Because that should be the last time you see it.
Right. I mean, and some people may just come out the blue with it, but you real deal know if that tempts you or
not. And I don't care if it's your friend from high school. I don't care if it's your cousin's best friend. I don't care how close the connection is. It's still disrespect.
I've been there where I was legit now liking the caption. Hey, if y'all been there, come on, somebody hang with me. Somebody done liked the caption before and didn't mean to like the voluptuous post, but the caption came along with it. Come on, can I get a hand? Somebody done that. So I like the caption.
There's a lot of red on here.
So I liked the caption, and then my wife later said, "Hey, why you liking that post?"
Oh, because I'm gonna call it out because.
But that's what I do respect.
But the thing about it is,
she was like, "Hold on, why you liking that post?" And I'm thinking, "What post? I don't even remember it being that serious." But when I went back and saw it, I was like, "Yeah, I saw the caption, and I liked the caption." But everybody don't know you like the caption, but
right.
And it didn't come across to her like, oh, he just liked the caption.
Right.
Because, all you see is, boobies and stuff out.
Right. Because we peep it, and the thing about it is, it just comes across in a manner of how you respect your spouse. Yeah. I'm sorry, because if I see it and I know that it's somebody that I'm like, then I kind of feel for that person, and that's just because I'm kind of like that. I kind of take on other people's, and it's not necessarily a great thing, but I take that on as a wife for other wives because I grieve for that. Yeah. Because I'm just like, I know that hurts her feelings. Yeah. Because she sees it, I know she sees it, and I know that people see it, and it's just disrespectful. Right. All right. So, also, there's boundaries. Boundaries. We got to know how to set boundaries. Yeah. From the outside people coming in, and then with each other. There's still certain boundaries that we set with each other. Mm-hmm. We're not setting laws with each other, but we're just setting boundaries, which means most of the time I'm just really going to open up to you, and I'm going to communicate with you what I may want, what I may need, what I may not like. Right. I may not can make you stop doing what you're doing, but hey, I'm gonna do my part and say, man, I kind of don't like when you do that. Mm-hmm. But that's okay, because guess what? It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. In the growing, you have to be able to be honest. You know what I'm saying? In the growing. So communicate your thoughts with one another. Never assume or guess your partner's feeling. Right. Stop assuming and stop guessing what they're feeling. Ask them what they're feeling. And when they tell you that they're feeling some kind of way about you, allow them to feel it. Right. And allow that to kind of. Because the thing about it is, in marriage, for me, I feel like you can set boundaries for yourself based upon what they tell you. Mm-hmm. So you'd be like, okay, well, you told me that you don't like when I do this. So for me, I'm setting a boundary to be like, hey, since I know I do that when you upset me, now the boundary is I'll just come to you and tell you, hey, I really didn't like that. Yeah. So now it puts me in a position where I set that boundary with myself. Mm-hmm. And then that way I'm not upsetting you. Right. So. And what I mean by setting a law, if you tell me you don't like something, and then it's nothing like huge or nothing, but I do it again, and now you basically telling me I cannot do it again, you set a law. Right. So we don't want to set laws. No. All right. Follow through on what you say. Do what you say you're going to do. Yeah. Do what you say you're going to do. All right. Take responsibility for your actions. Yeah. That's huge. Because without you taking responsibility, it's like the boundary don't even have to be set, but for you to take responsibility for your actions, for me, that's huge, because it's like you're recognizing the action. Yeah. And then when you recognize the action, typically that's when the healing and all of that stuff comes, mm-hmm. because I need you to at least recognize you did something. Right. Right. So. And know when it's time to move on. That's the hard part. You gotta look, wisdom. Yeah. We need Jesus for this part of it. Sometimes you can't keep dragging. This is the thing. You're allowed to feel what you feel. Right. But if they do something, if your spouse does something that hurts you, at some point, it's like, you can't keep dragging them through the mud either. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, hopefully your spouse, when they hurt you, they also are grieving that as well. And right. They know they made a mistake. And, at some point you have to be able to say, yeah, that is my friend. I have to start seeing him the way God sees him. Mm-hmm. Because we always talk about looking through redemptive eyes at our spouse. Right. And making sure that we can see him the way that God sees him, especially if they're truly repentant. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? If they're really sorry and they're changing behavior, at some point we have to find ways to move on, especially if it's nothing where you need counseling or therapy or, something like that. You have to find that. Right. So, next thing is this, and we're just about done. Celebrating your differences. Right. You are not in competition with your spouse. Talking about friendship. We're talking about being a safe place. We have to learn
Don't read like that when I say we have to learn.
are learning.
We are learning, and we have to continue to learn how to celebrate our differences, and not just point and say your differences don't look like what I want to see. Or because when you start celebrating your differences, it means your perspective has changed. And now I don't look at you being different as wrong.
And now I'm not trying to change you.
And now I'm not trying to change you. Good.
Yeah.
Because one spouse see things one way doesn't mean that they are wrong or better.
Or controlling.
Right.
Unless they are being controlling, then that's different.
Okay. You can't change your spouse. You must take time to not only celebrate their differences, but appreciate. Man, I think God made all of us so different for reasons.
It's good.
That's why all of our marriages are different. Yeah. But your marriage has a purpose. Yeah. Don't just be yoked. You need to be yoked with purpose. And that's why I believe God has given us that. Because we have realized that we got a purpose for our marriage. Yeah. And it ain't just for us. Not just for us to be good, live good, do our thing. No. God way bigger than that. Exactly. So,
also be open.
Yeah, be open.
Be open to working on your friendship and your marriage. Right. This will help you have what we were talking about before, that abundant marriage. That's just something that I believe that, I don't know, it just seems like a lot of people aren't living that. And when you are living that abundant marriage, it's so many things, so much fruit that comes from that. And so I just believe that.
Yeah.
So just be open to working on your friendship. Even, I mean, there's times where you may have to say, hey, as my friend, can I come talk to you? Like, not as my, yeah, you're still my husband, but hey, kind of take off that husband hat for a minute and hear me out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things you can do to work on as being friends. And I mean, game nights, have fun, laugh.
Just turn it backwards.
Yeah, laugh. You know what I'm saying? Have fun. Enjoy one another. You're supposed to be able to do that.
I love having some fun.
Yes, he does.
And it's hard to have fun when you're not friends.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be taken the right way. You got to be walking on eggshells sometimes around the house. You can't really be as,
So you want to make sure that you're friends and have fun together.
I clown.
He does clown.
And, I like them big belly laughs.
Yeah, we both do.
You know what I'm saying? Make your stomach hurt.
Where we just be laughing and crying, and then the kids be like, what? Tell us.
Have we had one this year yet? I don't know. We have? Okay. Y'all had a belly laugh this year? 2021, baby. But let's kick this year off with some belly laughs. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about friendship, guys, today. Talking about being a safe place, man. You want your marriage to be a safe place.
But remember that the Bible tells us that a friend loves at all times and a brother is born for adversity. Making your wife or your husband your best friend begins with committing yourself to being faithfully there for them, especially when they need you the most.
Especially when they need you the most. But
stick close.
Stick close. A friend sticking closer than a brother.
And born for adversity. Meaning they can take, when they're your friend, they can take all them.
They can take it.
Them blows, them hits. Hey.
A real friend can take it.
Yeah, they can take it.
They can take it. Yeah.
Yep.
So, listen, man. Whew. Friendship.
Safe Place series is gonna go for a while.
Safe Place series is right. Listen, this ain't nothing you rush through.
Yeah.
This is stuff that we're working on as we're working through, right? It's because it's like a double-edged sword. You just, you know what I'm saying, man. But thank God for Safe Place.
Yes.
Listen, guys, if you have not set your mind or asked yourself the question or asked your spouse this question, am I a safe place? Are you my safe place? Is our marriage a safe place? Begin to ask those questions.
If not, start working.
Begin to ask those questions. Start working on it today. It's not too late, right? Start building that friendship. Keep allowing your spouse to feel. Make sure that you create a no judgment zone. Right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to continue this Safe Place series next week. Yeah. Right? With I don't know what we
about that one.
Oh, don't tell them.
I'm not.
Don't say it. But stay tuned. Safe Place series will continue, guys, next week. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for
being here. If we've had any first time watchers, because we streaming all over the place now. I'm DeAndre.
And I'm Kim.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You have been watching Yoked with Purpose. And we can't wait to see y'all again next week. We love you.
Love y'all.
We'll see you next time.